Hello, Sagittarius. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your message from your ancestors as of November 11th, 2025. I've set the intention of this reading to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. So if you have Sagittarius in any of those placements, odds are there's a message in this reading for you. Also, keep in mind that this is a collective general reading. It is not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, it's okay. It just means it's someone else's message. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Be sure to check out your other placements. And also, please keep in mind that I am a Gemini. My ruling planet, Mercury, is now in retrograde. So if I fumble or stumble my way through your reading, I ask for your grace and your forgiveness ahead of time. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Sagittarius collective now for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What message do the ancestors have for Sagittarius at this time? What message do you have for them at this time? One more shuffle now. Thank you. Your message, Sag, we have awakening. And at the bottom of the deck, you have strength. Right behind strength, you have perception. Okay. I notice in the strength card, this person holding this wheel, and it says star on it. So there is something you're healing here. You're strong enough to heal through something that has happened. And whatever this has been for you, this experience, it's awakening you, or it's meant to awaken you. So if you're going through something difficult and you're wondering, why am I going through this? I feel like you need to change your perception with that perception card. The reason why this is happening to you or has happened to you is so you would have this awakening. So then you can move towards your star, right? Your wish fulfillment, the dream, the goal that you have. Tell me more about this here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. Why is this the message from their ancestors? What do they need to know about awakening? One more shuffle. Thank you. Your first card out, we have Page of Wands, followed by the Sun, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Lovers. Bottom of the deck, you have Temperance, you have the Knight of Wands, and you have the Two of Swords. That leaves the Four of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. Page of Wands, there's more to discover here. The reason why you've had this connection with this individual, whoever they are to you, professional, platonic, romantic, there was something you need to change your perception about it, discover something different about it. What is that? What is that Page of Wands energy here for Sag? Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Page of Wands is clarified by the World. So there was a lesson. And I think that's what your ancestors are trying to tell you. There was a lesson here involved. Seven of Cups and the Queen of Wands. The bottom of the deck, you have Ace of Cups, the Devil, and the Five of Pentacles, Hermit, and Seven of Swords right behind that. So Sag, I feel like whatever this connection has been for you, or maybe it's currently still existing in your life, your ancestors are trying to tell you it was supposed to trigger an awakening, dealing with this toxic individual, whoever they were, whoever they are. You were supposed to learn a lesson about this person, not about this person, a lesson through this person. I feel like this person was a teacher for you. Although in dealing with them, you probably didn't see them that way, right? Seven of Swords to the Devil, you probably saw them as being really toxic. I think what it had to teach you was this person was there to teach you self-love, the Sun card. This person was in your life to help heal something here within the Sagittarius collective. Tell me about the Sun card here. It's the happiest card in the deck, but it is the most healing card in the deck as well. The Sun is very healing, very nurturing. It gives life. It awakens, right? If you think about like after winter, you know, during the winter period and everything, like all the leaves fall off the trees and like plants are dead. But then this spring, there's an awakening. The sun, the warmth of the sun brings growth. So you were supposed to have this awakening. You were supposed to go through this dark period of winter, let's say, with this individual, because it was supposed to awaken, grow, and heal something within you. Tell me about the Sun card here for Sag. One more shuffle. Thank you. I do think it was meant to make you stronger. Ace of Swords. That is the truth. Ace of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, King of Swords, Justice, and the Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune. So I think for some of you, you had a A traditional view with that King of Swords, Justice, and the Hierophant. You had this traditional view of what this particular connection was supposed to look like or was supposed to be. And that's why I think you invested in it. You invested in this person. You invested in this connection. This was supposed to be the ideal business partner. This was supposed to be the person that you were going to marry and be with for the rest of your life, or that you wanted to marry and be with for the rest of your life. This was supposed to be the company that you would be at until, your retirement. I feel like this individual and this experience with them was brought into your life to kind of rock that foundation, almost to like change your perception when it came to this type of connection in your life. I think you had a very traditional view on how this was supposed to work or how this was supposed to happen. And because of that traditional or ideal view that you had, I almost feel like you lost yourself in that connection. Hope this is making sense for someone watching. If not, check your other placements. But I think you lost yourself. The Queen of Wands, whether you're masculine or feminine, you entered this connection. You took all of your courage and your perseverance. I'm going to make this happen with this person, right? But I think the lesson was that you lost yourself in that Seven of Cups. That's like Neptune and Pisces. So you lost yourself in the ideal vision or the dream or the fantasy of what you thought this connection was supposed to be. And I think what your ancestors are trying to tell you is like you kind of missed the point of that connection. That person was put in your life to be a teacher, not to stay in your life indefinitely. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles to the Sun card. They were supposed to heal something within you. I think what this person was supposed to heal within you is that the Ace of Pentacles resided within you, not within them. The stability you were seeking didn't reside with them. Not in that job, not in that person, not in that lover, not in that business partner. The awakening here, Sag, is that the Ace of Pentacles resides within you. You are valuable. You are worthy. And you don't need to compromise yourself to make a connection in your life work. I think you got lost in, I think you got lost in this connection. I think you lost yourself in this connection. This person was a teacher for you, albeit probably the most unhealthiest one. Eight of Pentacles is a card of self-mastery. This individual was put in your life to get you to master a certain aspect of your life. Four of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. Yes, bottom of the deck, the Fool card. So this person was brought into your life. And like I said, for some of you, this person is no longer in your life. For others of you, this person still is in your life. And you've been trying to, in this particular connection, you have minimized what it is that you want, who you are, what your own dreams and goals are. It's almost like Four of Cups, you abandoned an aspect of yourself to allow this person into your life. So let me give you an example. Can you please give me an example to give Sag? Okay. So Sagittarius, let's say that I'm speaking to a Sagittarius where you wanted to be a writer. That was your goal. That was your wish. That was your dream. And now you meet this individual and you fall in love with them and you think this is the ideal partner. I'm going to date this person. We're going to get married. We're going to buy the house, have 2.5 kids, a dog in the driveway, chickens in the backyard, whatever your ideal vision was for that marriage, right? Or that lifelong commitment. And then somewhere along the way, this person tells you they really don't. They kind of give you the feeling like that they don't want you to be a writer. They just want you to be a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home husband. And in order for you to keep them in your life, you were like, you know what? I think I'm just going to take that dream of being a writer. I'm going to put it on the shelf over here. I'm going to Four of Cups it, Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords, put it off for another day. I don't want to fight with this person. I don't want to stand up for what I want. I know I've always wanted to be a writer, but now I'm with this person and they're like my ideal person. And so I'm going to forge forward with them, Fool card, and I'm going to take this want, need, desire of mine and put on a shelf and allow it to collect dust. I don't want to fight with the person. I want to argue with them. So I'm just not going to be a writer. If that's what it takes to keep them in my life, then I just won't be a writer. Fine. And so Fool card, you take the leap of faith. And then you get hit with a tower. And I feel like you probably had multiple towers with this person. That's the feeling that I get here for the majority of you. And I feel like every single tower was supposed to trigger an awakening within you, that this person was convincing you in some way, right? Devil to the Seven of Swords, that like you needed them more than you needed that wish, dream, or goal or desire of yours to be realized, to materialize. You needed them more. So you didn't really need to be a writer. You need them. They're more important than your dream. I feel like every tower moment you had with this person was meant to awaken you to know, I am strong enough to stand in my power and say, no, I want to be a writer. You can stay in my life and I will be a writer, or you can leave my life and I will be a writer. I feel like a lot of you in this connection have put on hold or suspended what it is you truly want. I feel like you kind of abandoned part of yourself to keep this person in your life. And it's like you didn't want to argue with them. Like what you did, what you compromised and you gave up and you surrendered everything you had to give up and surrender to keep this person in your life. I could be speaking to a Sagittarius where you were the other man or the other woman in the connection. And although you wanted for it to just be you and them, they somehow convinced you that you could make do. You could four cup that desire to be in a relationship where it's just you and your partner. You don't really need that, Sag. What you really need is me. I feel like this person's role in your life was to teach you that no, your wants, needs, and desires are important. I think they were put in your path or in your life to test your strength, to test your faith. How bad did you want that star? How bad did you want that want, need, and desire? Because I feel like a lot of you put something here on the shelf, either waiting for this person, or you compromised a lot of yourself just to keep this person, or to have this person. Lovers. Tell me about the Lovers card here. I feel like at some point in time, you made the active choice, consciously or subconsciously, to say, that's not really important. I could wait to do that. I could wait to have that. I don't really need to do that. As long as I have this person in my life, I'm good. I think your ancestors are trying to tell you it's time to make a different choice. This person is still in your life. It's time to make a different choice. Tell me about the Lovers card. One more shuffle. Thank you. Lovers is clarified by Two of Wands. Time to make a different choice. Eight of Cups. To walk away from that individual or the types of individuals that would do that to you. Five of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. That is the truth. So this person was a damn good teacher. And for some of you, you had many people like this in your life, where you always had to sacrifice part of yourself to keep them happy or keep them content or keep them in your life. And I think what your ancestors are telling you is that person or those people were put in your life, and all those tower moments you had with them was supposed to shaken and awaken something within you, Sag, that you should not compromise what it is that you want and need out of a connection, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic, that you have the choice. I think you gave your power over to someone, but I think you were kind of meant to in that moment, because I think there was a lesson there for you. And I think that you need to see this connection in your life differently with that perception card. I think you need to see it differently. Instead of saying that person, I wasted all those years of my life waiting for that person, or I wasted all those years of my life sacrificing my wants and needs to keep them, and I still wasn't good enough in the end. And I think you need to change your perception, because had that person or those people not put you through that, you would never have realized that you deserve that Ace of Cups that you've been putting on the shelf. You deserve that. And that you are strong enough to go after it. And that you should not shelf it for someone. I think you need to change your perception and see it as, this person was a damn good teacher. And now you get to make a choice. You get to make a choice about whether, if you're going to keep this person in your life, are you going to keep them under the same terms where you have to compromise, over-compromise who you are and what you want and what your needs are just to have them or keep them. And if it's not them and it's a new person, are you going to do the same thing? Are you going to be strong enough to say no? That Ace of Cups that I've continually put on the shelf to keep, you know, this person or people in my life, no. I want, that's important enough for me that I want it. And I should be surrounded, I should be with a person or surrounded by people who support my pursuit of that Ace of Cups. Because it means that much to me. I think this person was supposed to teach you that you're valuable. And what you want and dream and desire is valuable as well. Temperance, Knight of Wands, and the Two of Swords. I feel like Archangel Michael is helping you move forward from this person. And that Knight of Wands, taking the inspired action to either move forward from that type of person or the archetype of that type of person that would convince you in some way to deny yourself that Ace of Cups. Judgment. What's behind Judgment? The Hanged Man. Seeing it from a different perspective. Taking the inspired action to see it from another perspective and to make that judgment call that you will never do that to yourself again. This is an awakening. This person triggered an awakening within you. One more shuffle here, please. Two of Cups. So you can move towards partnerships in your life that support you, support what you want, support your wants and your needs and your desires and your dreams and your goals and your plans. It doesn't make you minimize them or compromise them or ignore them or abandon them altogether just to keep that person or those people in your life. Celestial Weaver, creating the life that you want and having Two of Cups partnerships in your life that support that and not expect you to minimize it or ignore it just to have them in your life. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice here for Saggy. One more shuffle. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. How you choose to do this next cycle or this next chapter of your life will be completely dependent upon whether or not you've learned that lesson, because you have the potential here to either repeat this lesson with this same person or to repeat this lesson with someone who's just like them. Wheel of Fortune, Page of Swords, and the 8 of Wands. How do you want to move forward? Ace of Cups. Move towards that ace that you had to shelve, minimize, ignore, neglect, abandon. To either have the hope of having this person in your life or to maintain them in your life. Because no one should ever make you shelf this. Whatever it was here, it's like, did this person take it from you? In some way. They 7 of Sworded you, but you kind of 7 of Sworded yourself. Because this was voluntarily done by you as well. You are an active participant in shelving that Ace of Cups. You get the chance now to do it over again, to do it differently, to learn, Page of Swords, how to never allow someone to do that to you again or to put you in that position. And I think this time around, you are strong enough to say no. That Ace of Cups, that star, that wish, that dream, or that just basic need or desire that I need in this particular type of relationship, that's what I expect. That's what I want. I want that. I want someone to support me in acquiring that or achieving that. I don't want someone who tells me in order to be with them, I can't have that. This reminds me of a friend of mine who was married for a long time. She craved going to the beach. She just loved it. She grew up in a seaside town, a shore town. She loved going to the beach. She liked tanning. She liked being in the water. She liked walking the boardwalk. She married someone that just wasn't part of his lifestyle. And she knew that going into the relationship, and she knew that when she married him. And I don't know if she thought, well, I could go the rest of my life without going on the beach, or maybe she thought I could change him in time. I'll convince him that it's worth going. However she saw it is kind of inconsequential. The fact that she knew what she was getting into, and she decided to move forward with the connection anyway. Do you know that woman did not see a beach for 20 years? And I know it sounds silly, but for her, it was healing to be at the beach. It was nostalgic to be at the beach. She liked being in touch with nature in that way. Smelling the salt water, it was very healing, and it was part of her adventurous spirit. She liked going out on the surfboard, and at the very least, if he didn't like the beach, he should have at least supported her desire to go on vacations and be at the beach or to go in the water. Even if he didn't have to be a participant, he should have still supported her and said, yeah, you can go with friends, or I'll come with you. You can go on the surfboard or the boogie board. I'll sit on the sand and I'll cheer you the whole way. He didn't do that. Denied her of something so basic, but she went along with it to keep him. And consequently, it was a vacation that they took. They took an island vacation, and he wanted to stay in the hotel the whole time. And the closest she was going to get to the beach was looking out the window, out of the hotel window. And she was like, enough. Just like, I don't know why. In that moment, she had an awakening. She was strong enough. The one thing she ended up putting on the shelf for 20 freaking years ended up being the one thing that triggered that tower moment for her, where she had the awakening and she was like, I'm not spending the rest of my life looking at the beach through videos and photos and other people's experience and the freaking hotel window. Like, for her, that was enough. And unfortunately, it was a 20-year lesson for her. It didn't have anything to do with the beach. It was the fact that she had something that she was so passionate about, that she really enjoyed, was quite innocent in nature. It fed her soul. It made her feel good. And she ended up compromising that for someone. And in the end, he said to her, the beach or me. I mean, if you really want to know what a narcissist is, there's a very different definition of a narcissist. And she was strong enough to say, the beach. I'm really proud to say that today she has a beach house on the coast in Florida, overlooking the beautiful Gulf. And no, he is not in her life. But she does have someone else. And guess what he enjoys? The beach. And I know that sounds silly, but there was something here that you wanted and needed, and you put on the back burner to appease this person in the hopes that they would pick you, choose you, be with you, stay with you, whatever the situation was there. And I feel like this time around you can do it again with them or with someone else, or you could do it differently. This time around you could decide, this Ace of Cups is important to me, and I want to be with someone or be surrounded by people who support my pursuit of the Ace of Cups. And be strong enough to say no to people who want to be part of your life but don't support that part of you, or that want, need, or desire. Justice. Connections that are fair and balanced, equal give and take, supportive in measure. That's what you're seeking. And that's what's waiting for you. And I think that's what your ancestors are trying to tell you. If this connection is phasing out of your life, let it. If it phased out in the past, don't think back of all the time you wasted on it. Instead, see it as that person was a damn good teacher to teach you how valuable that Ace of Cups was. The bottom of the deck, Celestial Weaver. In this new cycle, in this new chapter of your life, you get to pursue that Ace of Cups, whatever that is for you. Dream it, create it, go after it, obtain it, and maintain it. And don't ever allow someone to tell you that you have to shelve a part of yourself or abandon or neglect a part of yourself just to keep them in your life. That's not a person worth keeping, but they were a damn good teacher. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. That is your message from your ancestors as of November 11th, 2025. If you like these messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, or maybe just want to hype the video, I would appreciate that very much. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.